Right guys, the whole idea of this build is to have maximum grenade uptime so we can just spam these things, scorching and igniting things everywhere. But on top of that, our grenades are also going to heal us. So first off, we're going to be using Firebolt grenades. Normally I wouldn't touch these things, but thanks to a couple of mods in this season's artifact, we've got flared up. Firebolt grenades apply more scorch stacks, and damaging the combatant with a Firebolt grenade spawns a fire sprite near them. A fire sprite basically gives you grenade energy back. We're going to be spawning quite a lot of these, so our grenade uptime is going to be great. Plus we've got better ways to get our grenade energy back as well. So this is just the icing on the cake really. The second perk is Rain of Firebolts. When you have a Firebolt grenade equipped, gain a second grenade charge. Also very quickly, Solar Surge, collecting a fire sprite gives you armor charge. We're going to be making fire sprites all the time, and we're going to rely on these to give us armor charge so we can proc other mods that will give us our grenades back even quicker. Hallowfire Heart is our exotic of choice here. Now this improves the recharge rate of your solar abilities, and it greatly improves the recharge rate while your super is charged. Now if your super isn't charged, you've got a 75% additional base grenade and melee recharge rate. But if your super is fully charged, you've got 350% additional base grenade and melee regen rate, which is huge. So you can see where we're going on already with this. We're going to be throwing these Firebolt grenades around all the time, causing scorch, causing ignitions. They're going to be healing us thanks to a fragment we've got, and we're also going to be making fire sprites, which are going to give us more grenade regen, but more importantly, give us armor charges to, yeah, you guessed it, give us more grenade energy. We're going to be throwing these things non-stop, and there's just an infinite loop of grenade spamming, things blowing up, scorching, igniting, healing. It does it all basically. This is why we want armor charge. Grenade kickstart. When your grenade energy is fully expanded, you gain grenade energy. Additionally, your armor charge is consumed and you gain additional grenade energy for each stack. So we're going to throw a grenade and instantly get a ton of energy back for this. I've got 3 of these equipped for maximum return. And to make sure we're going to get our super energy filled up really fast, I've got 3 helmet mods equipped of Ashes to Assets. Gain bonus super energy on grenade kills. So obviously we're going to be throwing grenades all the time. Our super energy is going to fly up because of this to get us that nice 350% ability regen as soon as possible. Now I like to run this build and just keep my super just there in the background. I use it for a clutch moment because while your super's active and you're getting this 350% ability regen, you can just throw these things constantly. Picking up the fire sprites, picking up orbs of power, which I'll get to in a second. We're going to be invincible. Nothing's going to stop us. Now on the chest piece, going to be using charged up, increase the maximum number of stacks of armor charge you can carry by 1. This is just going to give us a bit more grenade energy back thanks to our grenade kickstarter mods. Stacks on the legs, picking up an orb of power grants you 1 additional stack of armor charge. We're already getting armor charges from our fire sprites, but picking up orbs of power also going to get us charged up. This is going to give us 1 more stack. Recuperation, replenish health each time you pick up an orb of power, and also innovation, reduce grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. Now we're going to be using a fragment to create orbs of power, which I'll get to in a second, but on the Titan mark, we're going to be using double bomber. Reduce grenade cooldown when using your class ability. Now, for whatever reason you don't have a grenade, which is going to be very unlikely with this build, just pop your barricade. That'll give you a nice bump of grenade energy back to have another grenade to throw. And I always like to run proximity ward. This costs nothing in terms of armor charges and whatnot, just 2 energy, and you gain a powerful overshield while performing your finisher. And this has no cooldown. You can just keep finishing enemies and just keep that overshield up. It just really adds to great survivability, especially as with this build we're going to be using consecration, which is one of the most powerful melees in the game and triggers an ignition instantly. If you use consecration on a champion or big enemy and it doesn't quite kill them, finish them off, and proximity ward will protect you in the process. For your armor stats, I'd rock 100 discipline and 100 resilience for survivability and grenade regen, because that's what this build's all about. Now, I mentioned creating orbs of power. We're going to do that with Ember of Wonder. Rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions generates an orb of power. This also gives us 10 resilience, which is nice. Next, I'd use Ember of Blistering. Defeating targets with solar ignitions grant grenade energy. This is just another way to keep the grenade energy rolling in, on top of the other 3 or 4 ways we've got it coming in anyway. And then lastly, this is going to give us great survivability, Ember of Resolve. Solar grenade final blows cure you. We're going to be throwing these grenades all the time. They're going to be killing things constantly, and every kill that we get is going to apply cure to us. So essentially, they're healing grenades. They're also killing and igniting enemies at the same time. So it's a win-win situation here. Now, I mentioned consecration. This is easily one of the most powerful melees in the game. And also new this season, it's going to stun unstoppable champions thanks to the ignition that you get from the second slam. And also, we're going to use Sol Invictus as the other aspect. So every target that we defeat are going to start off being scorched, then they're going to ignite. Even if they don't ignite and they still die, they're going to create a sunspot on the floor, which is going to give us restoration, and you guessed it, more ability regen while we're stood in the sunspot. So we're going to make sunspots with our grenades, with our consecration, which is going to make fire sprites and orbs of power, and now sunspots, giving us massive grenade and melee regeneration on top of Hallowfire Heart. So as you can see, we are just ability spamming non-stop. I'm not even going to recommend any weapons for you. Honestly, just use what you want in the weapon spot. This build's mainly focused on abilities, which are going to cause huge damage and heal us in the process. I'm choosing to use Hammer Strike, but if you wanted to use the throwing hammer, you can still activate Consecration with that. So feel free to use that if you want. And Rally Barricade or Towering Barricade, whatever your preference. Rally Barricade has a slight lower cooldown, but it's up to you. So just to recap, Hallowfire Heart is going to give us 75% ability regen when our super isn't fully charged. When the super is fully charged, it's going to give us 350% ability regen. We're going to get it charged as quick as possible thanks to triple Ashes to Assets mods. But if you are just going to run around with your super fully charged and spam grenades, once it's charged, you might want to take these off, or you could just keep these on and use your super more frequently. Because don't forget, roaming supers now have 20% more damage increase. So they're super powerful, but with 3 Ashes to Assets on and the amount of grenades we're going to throw, it won't take you long to get your super back at all. So now your super's fully charged, you've got 350% melee and grenade regen, and you can spam grenades left, right and center, use Consecration super quick because of the ability regen, and defeating scorched targets are going to create fire sprites thanks to Ember of Searing. Your grenades and your melees are going to cause massive ignitions, which will generate orbs of power thanks to Ember of Wonder, and the solar ignitions are also going to give you grenade energy thanks to Ember of Blistering, and your solar grenade kills are going to give you cure thanks to Ember of Resolve. All of this are going to be creating sunspots thanks to Sol Invictus, which while you're stood inside are going to give you more ability regen and activate restoration. Now these sunspots are going to be everywhere, so you're going to be running through and activating restoration without even realizing it. The orbs of power are going to activate grenade kickstarter. Picking up the fire sprite is going to give us armor charges thanks to the artifact solar surge, and picking up the orbs of power from the ignitions are going to give us 1 additional stack of armor charge thanks to stacks on stacks. The orbs of power are also going to give us health regeneration thanks to recuperation, and grenade energy thanks to innovation. Keep throwing your grenades, keep using Consecration, create fire sprites, create orbs of power, create sunspots, and for that very rare occasion you haven't got a grenade, activate Bomber to give you a nice boost in grenade energy there. You are going to be throwing grenades every couple of seconds that are going to cure you, make more fire sprites, make more orbs of power with Hallowfire Heart equipped, and your enemies are going to hate you for it. Guys, thank you for watching my video. If you've liked what you've seen today, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again for the next one. Take care.